I'm Jamie Stanford, the instructor, and we're going to talk about good keyboarding techniques while you're keyboarding. You may have a desktop computer with a standard keyboard like we have in the classroom, or you may have a laptop like this. It won't matter which kind of keyboard you have, just pull it to the edge of the table. We're going to use the same technique for both kinds of keyboards. The first thing that you want to do after you've positioned your keyboard is to put your hands on home row. To put your hands on home row, find the A, and the left little finger is positioned on A, and then we use A, S, D, F, and then right hand picking up with the index finger, J, K, L, semicolon. You will key on your fingertips with the hands resting lightly over those home row keys. Notice that there's a notch on the J and the F, and that's because the index fingers will rest lightly over the keys with the notches, and you'll always know where to put the index finger. The right thumb will key the space bar, and it is positioned in front of the N key pointing towards the keyboard. And so the left thumb is just resting and just relaxed. The wrists are somewhat low, and the top of the hand is parallel to the keyboard with the fingers curved so that you can key on the fingertip. It's okay if the wrist and the top of the hand are pretty even, but we want to avoid arching the wrist so that we're really on our fingertips. That's something we want to avoid. Another thing to avoid would be resting the wrist. The laptop computers have a couple of inches here, and it's easy to rest the wrist there and to flatten out the fingers. And sometimes standard keyboards have a wrist rest, or the desktop has a wrist rest. And it's easy to think that those are there so that we can stretch our fingers out and key with straight fingers. That's not the case. When we key with straight fingers, we make mistakes. It's hard to hit the correct key, or we have to stand up and make the reach, and it jeopardizes not only accuracy but speed. So keep the wrist somewhat low. The top of the hand is parallel to the keyboard, fingers curved. In fact, when the hands are in position, you could probably put a small lemon or perhaps a lime between the inside palm of the hand and the keyboard. Okay, I'm going to show you how to key with good technique. You make quick, sharp strokes from the home row to the keys that are off of the home row. Move only the finger that is striking the key, and then strike the key, come right back to home row. Okay, here is some good technique. U-S-E space, G-O-O-D space, T-E-C-H-N-I-Q-U-E space, W-H-I-L-E space, K-E-Y-B-O-A-R-D-I-N-G, period, enter. Okay, that brings us to the enter key. Notice that you just stretch the little finger to the enter key, avoid moving the hand. When you move the hand, we lose our position on home row, and we're not real sure if we'll return to the correct position. So stretch the right little finger. Another thing, you probably noticed that I said the letters as the fingers reached. That reinforces the location of the key and the finger movement. So whenever you practice in keyboard, you want to be sure that you say the letters. Something else about keyboarding technique is that when the fingers are reaching to the keys on the outside edge, pull forward with the wrist to the Q or the 1, or when the right little finger is reaching to the P and to the 0. What we want to avoid is twisting the wrist and pulling out the elbow. That's what we want to avoid. So just pull forward. Those are long reaches, but you just keep one finger over home row as you reach to those keys or up to the top row for the numbers. Okay, once again, let me show some correct technique saying the letters. Key space ON space FINGERTIPS period enter. And that is good technique, and I hope that is the technique you have when you finish this course.